Tricky. Don't look at things on face value. Atlanta were about 3 or 4 minutes away from now knocking out PSG. I get it, it's PSG, the choke and everything, but they almost did. This winner takes all. It's just one game. It's tricky. For me, I feel if this was over 2 legs, Atletico are through. Over 2 legs, Atletico are through. I think they would get the key away goals in Germany against Leipzig, and Leipzig are not coming close to beating them in Atletico's home ground. Neutral venue, one-off game, it's tricky. Blessing in disguise. What do you mean by that? Blessing in disguise. Timo Werner, our top goal scorer, our goal getter, the man that we rely upon, the man that everything comes through. So you'll say, no Timo Werner, that's it. We can't score. We're screwed. We're crap. We're finished. Was Timo Werner the best player for Leipzig over those 2 legs against Tottenham? I wouldn't say so. And maybe not having him makes the team better and brings them closer together. People forget, I feel Leipzig's best player, their key player, isn't on the pitch. It's Nagelsmann, one of the world's most exciting young coaches and managers. And for him, this is a juicy challenge. He's like, okay. Now the spotlight is on me. What can I do to create a interesting game plan to say what's up? Leipzig can beat Atletico. They can beat them. Now, we give Atletico the advantage because of the players they have, their experience, Simeone. They know this a lot more. Leipzig are new kids on the block. That doesn't mean Leipzig can't say what's up. From Atletico's point of view, so I believe the players that are missing are Versalco and Angel Correa. Correa, see, for me, I think the more important miss is Versalco. I think he's a very good defender and so forth. But I think Lodi has been one of their best defenders. I think he has been really key for Atletico. And I think, they can easily have a backup. And I believe on the flanks I think it's Trippier on the right and I think Lodi on the left, I think. But you see, the thing about Atletico is this, and this is why it's going to be interesting to see what Simeone does, because this is a one-off game now. Do you go pragmatic and say, this is the beauty about this? Again, this is so fascinating, and this is what we're discussing. What Atletico wants is Leipzig to have the ball, be the aggressors, keep possession, then they counter them. That's what Atletico wants. If Nagelsmann is smart and crafty, okay, again, it's risky, but no risk, no reward. Maybe you say, you know what? If we've studied them and we've seen them, they don't like having the ball. They don't like being the aggressors. What if we say, you have the ball? Take the ball. You're the favorites. You're the big team. Take the ball. Try and break us down. Try and actually be creative. We're not going to give you any space. Then we'll counter you and try and hit you on the break and try and exploit you. Which we know that this Leipzig team can do because they are very, very well coached. You're looking at Sabitzer, you're looking at Poulsen and so forth. And I think even Forsberg can even be in there. They're very well coached. So the more I think about it, this is a fascinating game because I rate Nagelsmann as a coach, and I think we just assumed, hey, PSG, let's go, boom. Yeah. PSG were 3-4 minutes from being knocked out. Why should we assume Atletico will win? Granted, they knocked out the defending champions. Granted, they beat them at Anfield. So that is the caliber of team we're going against, and you have to respect that. But if I'm Atletico, you have to be wary. And see, I think it go back to the whole thing. I'm not sure I like Atletico being the aggressors and trying to figure out how to break a deep block. To do that, you need creative players and you need to be confident and inventive having the ball. I can have faith in a Pep team doing that. I can have faith in a Bayern Munich doing that. I can have a faith in a team that has Neymar, Mbappe, and Di Maria doing that. A team with Atletico, who is the creator, who's the imaginative player, who's the player that can dribble past 3, 4, 5 players, who's the player that can find that crazy pass, who's the Messi, who's the Neymar, of the team, who's the Thiago Alcantara, who's the Muller. So what I want to see is, this is why I think I'm edging towards Atletico. Nagelsmann it is risky, and this is why I agree, it's risky to change your approach for a knockouts game. You have to go in there with what your philosophy is about. And I feel that Leipzig will dominate possession. They will control possession because that's just what they are. And I think that is where they feel most comfortable. So they will have the better share of the possession, but they won't be able to break down Atletico. They just won't. And I just think that they will not be able to. They don't have the creative players to create enough of the clear-cut chances to break them down. Atletico will just be able to try and find interesting counters and interesting pockets of 2-3 players to do interesting triangles and overlaps to try and open them up and try and get a G. So that is where a Morata will be important. A Marcos Llorente will be important, and so forth. In a Carrasco will be truly key and important, and even a Koke as well in how they try and use and utilize the ball. But as I'm looking at it right now, this could be a because as I was just thinking about it during the stream, I think this goes extra time, and I wouldn't be shocked if we even see penalties. I think this goes extra time, and I wouldn't be shocked if we roll into penalties. So Atletico should win. They should win. They have to be wary. And this is one of the few games. This is one of the few games where Atletico are the clear favorites, 100%. Whether they want to deny it or so ever, they can talk about respecting things so much. You are the favorites here. So with that being said, being the favorites, will that suit them or not? I mean, Coach Neros, are you confident with your boys being the favorites or not? So here's how I'm seeing it. I feel a 1-1 in 90 minutes. I feel 1-1 in 90 minutes. Penalties. I think Leipzig can hold them to penalties. Yes, penalties. I wouldn't be surprised even 0-0. I wouldn't be surprised. I think this is going to be one of the more tighter games. I think it's going to be a very tight tactical game. So probably 0-0. I think maybe 0-0. Extra time. Atletico win on penalties. Atletico win on penalties. If it goes to penalties, I'm rolling with Atletico to win on penalties. Leipzig, but Atletico wins to win on penalties. So yeah, that's how I'm rolling. But like whatever the case, man, Atletico do not underestimate Leipzig. And Leipzig, yes, they don't have Timo Werner and so forth, but they still have Nagelsmann, and I rate Nagelsmann and his coaching job with this team. And I think that they might try to spring up a surprise on your Atletico boys. I'll see you on the post-match stream. Peace out. Become a Patreon member. Gain access to my blog, get access to exclusive videos, and also get access to the podcast, to the Saturday and the Sunday hangouts. Head over to patreon.com/halfup to gain all these goodies while also supporting your boy HH.